So I grab my bow, turn around on I'm standing in my back to the tree, the bridge across me, standing there, and it's coming down a creek bottom. I can't see it. I'm like, when it pops out, it's going to be at 20 yards. I have no idea what it is. I'm like, I gotta draw though, in case it's a bow.
just in case. Yeah, right.
So I draw, and it's a shooter 8-point. It's like 115-inch 8-point. For me, I'm like, if I shoot the last day, I'm shooting first. So
yeah, exactly. Right.
I fling an arrow, and it hits every single sapling between me and that deer. I mean, it bounces off 5 different saplings, just all over the place. And it hits the ground, and he takes 3 hops and stops and looks back at the lighted knot. And he just keeps looking at the lighted knot. And luckily he's looking away from me because it's in the side of the hill behind him.
Right.
And so I'm like fumbling with my quivers behind me, and I get an arrow out and get it knocked back on. I hook back up, and I'm like, I'm going to get another shot. There's no way. I mean, and so
I can't believe it.
He flicks his tail, puts it down, and goes to start walking. And I draw, and second one drilled him. I watched it go straight through. And so then I picked the walkie-talkie up. And I'm like, hey, are you there? And he's like, yeah, I'm there. I'm like, I just shot one. He's like, no, you didn't. Stop swinging. I'm like, I swear I shot one. And yeah, we walked from the arrow full of blood, and we found him right away. He went 60, 70 yards up a hill and fell back down in the creek bottom.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Fair Chase podcast. End of summer here in Michigan. I got Codie Bhuyan on, and we're both in West Michigan, and we get the cooler nights lately and stuff, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been liking the cooler nights. I'm training for a marathon right now in October, so I've been enjoying not running in 90-degree heat. And I'll segue into some of our things too. That's my getting ready for the Ohio Hills this fall. That's
my marathon.
My prep. Just running a marathon. I'm going to be ready. I could go up and down hills all day long.
Well, we had a hot stretch for a bit. Like it was a pretty dry, hot summer by us, and you know, I do a bit of running, so I feel you, but I'm not training for a marathon. Like what part of training because I know there's all like, you got a program, you follow it pretty strictly. Like where are you on the program?
Yeah, they do. Some people get crazy. This is my first one. I mostly want to say I did one. I'm not sure I'm going to become some marathon runner. But I'm about 10 weeks into an 18-week training plan. So I've got a few more hard weeks, and then a few weeks of taking it easy before the race. And yeah, it's been going pretty well so far.
What's the wind down? What's like, how long, like right before the race, you kind of rest up? How long is that?
Usually about 2.5 weeks or so. You just kind of take it easy. I mean, take it easy in marathon prep is still 15, 20, 25 miles a week, but yeah, easier than 50 a week.
Yeah, that's insane actually. So interesting. So that like your body can heal up and then you're ready to go again, like that kind of deal, or how does that?
Yeah, it's kind of the idea is taper off, take it easy, get all the fatigue out of your legs, and then go run the race.
Yeah.
So
did you run today?
Yeah. I did run. I ran 5.5 miles this morning. Yeah.
Nice. Easy. What's your pace? Like what's your pace look like?
My goal time realistically, just anything under 9 minutes a mile for the marathon is going to be good. So I've been training a little faster than that, trying to make sure I'm in really good shape for it. But really just finish. And that's like a 4-hour marathon is not fast. I'm not a fast guy, but
you're just finishing it.
Prove that I could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And get in shape for hunting.
Yes. Be ready to go.
The hills are no joke out in Ohio. It's definitely going to be helpful to have, your lungs ready and your legs ready for that.
Yeah, I've definitely gone into Ohio a few years. I have 3 young kids, so a few years right after one of my wife's births, and having done no prep at all, and felt it substantially. Where I'm like, I really want to get back to that spot. I just can't go back there 2-3 times in the course of a week. My legs are gonna just give out. So
yeah,
it'll be helpful.
You sweat through it. What? Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Let me introduce you officially. Codie, you and I met not that long ago, just kind of by chance. And you're from Tekton Tools, so yeah, talk about what you do.
Yeah, so I work at a company called Tekton. We're right here in West Michigan in Grand Rapids. We are a hand tool brand, really focused kind of on mechanics hand tools. So can I say hand tools is the things that most people would think of: sockets and ratchets, pliers, screwdrivers, wrenches, and then some auxiliary things around that. Most of our work, I call it mechanical because it's centered around turning a fastener for the most of our product line. The core of our product line anyway is focused around that. And that's why you get things like sockets and screwdrivers and ratchets and wrenches. So it's kind of the focus of what we're doing. The company's been around for a long time, and it was kind of started by one guy who immigrated here from the Middle East, actually, and he kind of just started buying and selling stuff. Buy it cheap, sell for more. That was the whole focus. I mean, really anything. Bag flats, walk pans, garden hoses, anything. And that turned into a small storefront and then into a warehouse, and kind of started to shift focus into hand tools because it was the highest margin item. And then his two sons got involved. Two of his sons, he has three sons, two of them got involved and kind of said, hey, we could do our own brand here. Like, we could do something that's really high quality, really nice, and we can do it in a way that no one in the industry is. Go more direct to user, be more serious about the engineering, care about these applications and what people are really doing with the tools. And if we just listen and do that, be pretty practical and pragmatic about it, kind of the West Michigan way, as you know.
That's right.
Then
we're practical people here. Yep.
Yeah, we can apply all that, all those values that we have here, and build a great company around it and build a brand around it. And so that is when the Tekton brand was born. And that was around 15 years ago at this point. So the brand's relatively young, but we've made a lot of progress over that time, changing the product line over and getting serious about choosing our own materials, doing all of our own engineering, all of our own software development for our e-commerce platform, our own fulfillment operations. And so now we're a pretty vertically integrated company. We have about 160 employees, and doing more and more here locally. We've got 7 CNC machines on the floor now, injection molding, plating, just things that we never had before, because it was all just contracted and mostly done overseas in the past. So we still do some work in Taiwan and Canada and Germany with some really high-end partners, but more and more we're doing things here as well. So
OnX is the title sponsor of our podcast here at the Fair Chase, and it's a must-have app for all of us who love to explore the outdoors. Whether you're hunting or hiking or fly fishing, OnX gives you detailed, accurate maps right at your fingertips. With property boundaries, topographical features, and trail data, you'll always know where you are and where you're headed. You'll also likely be able to figure out where that big buck is headed to. Plus, their offline maps mean you're covered even in the most remote locations. OnX is the ultimate tool for outdoor navigation, making every adventure safer and more enjoyable. Download OnX today and explore with confidence.
That's kind of what we do. And my role here is just to generally help out with operations. So that's inside to evolve.
Is officially the title, by the way. CFO, right?
Yes, yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So basically, if it's in the walls of the company and it's making sure we run it smoothly and keep our users happy, keep our employees happy, then I'm involved in it, usually somehow, some way.
Well, you're doing a good job. I toured the plant, which I love to do plant tours. Just generally, they're just fun to see how people make things, you know. And I was pretty blown away because like you said, it's all ends of it. So it's like shipping right from like where you send it out is like, 20 yards from where you're making the product. So it's like it's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah, it's very just in time kind of process. We're shipping most e-commerce orders in the middle of the day when we're all here within 10, 15 minutes.
The Toyota way.
Yes, we have read the Toyota way and all the other production managers. Oh yes, yeah.
I had a couple of manufacturing clients a while back in a different life, and I read all those books and had to know all about lean principles, a Kaizen situation.
Yep. Yeah. I'll give it a shout out because it's my favorite. If you haven't read it, The Goal by Eli Goldratt is an incredible book if you want to get
not really that one.
Yeah. Really, really great. Yeah. All of our everyone in our warehouse or our manufacturing that leads any sort of team has surely read that book.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you and I hit it off. Like I said, just kind of met by chance and started talking hunting before I even knew kind of really what you did. And so I figured we talk a little tools. It's funny because you're talking about, Tekton and, things like that. But we were literally, Joe and I were setting out bear baits. I want to say it's like a week and a half ago. And we're drilling in 50, those drums into the trees. And we were going through bits like You blow through a lot of bits that way, we
Mhm.
found out. And so talking about you guys, but tools and hunting go together. How many hex wrenches? I've got like 15 hex wrenches I'm looking at right here,
Yep.
for example. So it was good to see because I use a lot of, Tekton tools in just daily life.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely go together. Especially for people who are, doing things like you're saying, maintaining a property, and they've got equipment that they're working on. And we all know when you go disc things up, it's not always the smoothest process. And you're trying to put a food plot in and you break some
Right.
fins or PTO goes out or something like that. Or you got a cabin that you're just trying to keep up or trailer you're running around the country or anything like that.
Yeah, I've got a tool set on my boat. I got like a John boat. Those things need tools, fairly regularly.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's the the trailer or the boat itself. So
Yep. Yeah, they really do go together. Yeah, they have saved me in a couple out of state trips before. And anyone who does out of state, you only have so many days. You can't be
yeah.
spending a lot of time down. So yeah, they definitely go together a lot. It's actually a focus we've had recently to try to understand some applications, not necessarily in the core hunting industry, but in some of the ancillary things around it, like boating is one that you described, but also like ATV and UTV use. And so we've been coming out with some kits, some small kind of on the go kits. One of those was for like small engine repair. We've got some new ones that we're thinking and dreaming up about ATV and UTV repair.
Nice.
They're just kind of small socket kits with a couple bits and drivers and core sockets that you would need on that type of equipment that you can just throw in the glove box compartment of that piece of equipment, just take with you. Or maybe one for a boat. Marine is one that we've got on the radar, not for a while, but something that we've talked about. Really just trying to make sure people have what they need, where they need it. And a lot of companies are focused on SEO, like search engine optimization, and they're making like a generalized kit, and then they're tagging it with a bunch of keywords and saying, everyone, this is for boating. We're trying to we're trying to go, a step deeper than that and say, no, this set was like really, truly, we thought about it. We went and talked to people who own whatever it might be this year of boat or watercraft, the people who are using Polaris UTVs, we understood the fitting sizes that were on there and made this set. Like we saw what you were doing and we gave you what you need. So like real optimization, truly seeing people and doing what they need to. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. In terms of,
I feel like you need a UTV for that. They need to get you one just for like the user experience. You need to have it. You need to take it up north for a while and just, test case.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a boat and a UTV and a new truck.
You just want to do your job.
Order. Just trying to do it. That's all I care about. Yeah. No, I have a good story actually of tools and hunting coming together. I didn't share this with you beforehand, but a group of my friends, buddies, have gone to Ohio for this will be our 5th or 6th year. I think we started in 2020. So this will be our 5th season going down. Kind of we all came back together after college. We had all gotten too busy and hadn't hunted a ton. And we're like, we really all want to get back into this and get serious again. And so we started this trip. And a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, 2022, everyone slept in, everyone was beat up because we were hiking the hills all day long the day before and scouting. And everyone else slept in. I'm like, I'm going. I think this spot's good. I got to go in the morning. I'm just going to go sneak in there.
This episode is brought to you by 2O Gear, innovators in technical hunting clothing. 2O is a newer company. It's based right here in Michigan, and whether you're hunting elk in the mountains or chasing antelope in the plains or traipsing through swamps after that ruddy buck, 2O has you covered with premium jackets and pants, merino wool layers, everything you could possibly need to stay comfortable in the woods. Their products are engineered for functionality and durability, ensuring you stay protected in any conditions. Plus, their camo is really effective. We're big fans. So don't take our word for it, though. Go to 2ogear.com and check it out. Hunters, when you're gearing up in the field or at home, you need tools as tough as you are. Tekton, a family-owned company from Grand Rapids, Michigan, makes hand tools with classic design and top-notch function. Perfect for pros and weekend warriors. Their sockets, ratchets, wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, and organization systems are built to last. Tekton's growing, and it's hiring for roles in manufacturing, engineering, software, marketing, and more. Check out tekton.com to shop tools or apply.
and went by myself, started coming back to the cabin. It was probably a 25-minute drive, and the truck started to overheat. And so I'm like, oh man, this is not good. I'm by myself. I have no cell service at all. There's nothing where we're at. Like I can't get a hold of anyone. So I baby it back to the cabin, and I open the hood when I get back, and it is like a movie scene. I mean, it is like coolant spraying everywhere. There's smoke rolling out of the hood. And I'm like, oh man, my trip is done.
Done.
Luckily, I had brought just one bag. The night before we left, I'm like, I'm just gonna throw some tools in here. So it wasn't even all Tekton tools. It was just a bunch of tools. Locking pliers, wrench set, adjustable wrench, couple random other pliers styles, screwdriver set, 6-in-1, kind of just some universal stuff. I'm like, we can get out of most pinches here. Some zip ties. Just the basics. And we get under there, we pour some water and see that it's leaking right out of the water pump. And so 3 of the guys take the other truck and they run into town, which is like 45 minutes away. They get a water pump. The rest of us fight a water pump out with the wrong tools being used in the wrong ways. I remember a locking plier being clamped onto bolts, and that's all we had that could fit in there. We got it back up and put back together. And it's like 3:30. I'm like, you guys all go. I'm covered in antifreeze. I'm all sweaty. Like, I'm frustrated anyway. Just you guys all go. One of the other guys like, I'll stay back. Let's get this thing like finished up completely. You shower and we'll just like go from there. So he convinced me we go out, and I sit in that same spot I sat that morning. I'm like, I think this is a good spot, and get out there way too late, of course, at this point.
What time of year is it right at this point?
This would have been that year. We were there the last week of October. So
okay.
Full on pre-rut. They hadn't really, scrape lines were wide open, but they hadn't really started chasing or anything yet.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting actually over a community scrape, huge community scrape.
Nice.
That had 2 scrape lines coming from 2 different ridge lines right down to it. And I get in the tree, and I kind of have this ritual. I have like a hunter's prayer. It's like a version of the Lord's Prayer. I kind of doctored up and is my version of it. So I'm saying it. I'm leaning against the bridge of my saddle, and I can smell antifreeze on my hands. And I'm like, what am I doing out here? This is never going to work. This is silly. Now I'm burning a good spot, trying to just like scramble and get things together. Probably 20 minutes later, I just hear some scratching, and I just look over. I just see tines just coming through, working the scrape line right towards community scrape. I'm like, no way is this gonna come together like this. The rest is kind of history. Sure enough, he came in. He kind of got a little weird when he got a little close, and ended up parallel and not coming into the community scrape. But shot him. Knew I had hit him, and ended up being a 155-inch deer. Had never shot anything close to that in my life. Just a really beautiful big acorn rack color, 10-point, typical. And yeah, unbelievable moment for the whole group after years of struggle trying to figure this out, because we're all from Michigan.
Was that your first
Ohio Hills? That was the first one I had shot there. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and one of our other buddies had shot a small 9-point, probably 115, 120 inch. For our standards, it was the nicest deer any of us had seen in a lot of years.
Yeah, right.
And so I remember we were all just, the classic. The group found it. We went out the next morning and tracked it, and everyone's jumping on each other, and it was really fun. Yeah, we let it lay. Yeah, I knew I'd hit it, but it didn't get a full pass through. He was kind of quartered away when I shot, and ended up being pretty perfect. Entered mid body and was stuck in the offside shoulder. But we just didn't know, and I saw my lighted knock run. I'm like, let's just leave it. But yeah, and they didn't know how big it was, and I was kind of like, I also don't know. It was a little dark, and
and that moment,
way more nervous.
Oh yeah, in the moment, a lot of times, I'm like, I'm not entirely sure. There's very few times where I'm like, I'm very sure of exactly how big that buck is. Usually, it's like shooter, not shooter, and then you kind of just do the rest.
Yeah. It didn't take me very long to do that binary shooter, not shooter. I just come in and grab the bow.
So I'm actually interested. So how, you said you guys got together after college and kind of wanted to re-engage in hunting and, get back together with the boys, everything. Tell me the process of picking Ohio, this area. Like, why'd you go there? Like, take me through the decision process of narrowing down and how that worked.
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been coached by the group on what is allowed to be said on
fair, good. And I'll help you too if I hear anything. I'm like, yeah.
Stop. No. We grew up we're about an hour north of Grand Rapids, Michigan, in the Newaygo Grant area. It's a farming community. And so we all grew up doing a lot of rifle hunting. mostly over bait in a blind. And
What
we all
would you guys
kind
use
of
for bait?
carrots, corn,
Carrots,
dog
ugly
leg.
carrots.
Oh yeah. Oh
We
yeah.
get the we'd get the ugly ones, and we, like we were talking ahead of time up in Big Rapids area growing up. We throw down like the cheap ugly carrots or the sweet
Sugar beet.
potatoes. Sweet
Yeah.
sugar beets, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yep. Yeah, we did all that. So yeah, we all grew up doing that and hunting together, and we all went away to different colleges and got married and did all those things for 6-7 years. And all ended up moving back kind of to West Michigan area, a little north of town, and started hunting again together a couple times and just getting together for rifle season and things. And we all like to bow hunt, and we're all kind of serious about it, but none of us are really like full on experts at anything other than hunting around here. Like it's swamps and
Right.
flatland, and we know that, and it's big woods when you're a little north, and we know a little bit of that. But we've never really been successful on like getting to the age class deer that we're all like dreaming of.
Sure.
And everyone says Ohio's great. We should try that out. So we started looking around and trying to find areas that we thought were different, that we would learn something, that we thought were going to hold the deer that we were looking for, and did lots of searching on online forums and just kind of poking around, talking to people who had been there, and landed on a couple of places that are just good spots where people had success in the past. And it's, like I said, in hilly country. It's not in like the ag areas. And so that was going to be new for us. And so we started learning about thermals and things like that. And year one, we did terrible. We saw, I think through a group of 6 of us, I think we saw 5 deer.
How long were you there?
We were about a week. It was what we started with. We've crept it up a little bit. We're there 9 or 10 days now, like 2 weekends. But yeah, we were about a week the first couple of years.
Hunters, listen up. Latitude Outdoors builds gear for the mobile hunter. Their saddle hunting systems are designed to cut weight, not performance, so you can cover more ground and set up fast, wherever the hunt takes you. From dense hardwoods to open ridges, their mobile-focused gear keeps you efficient and adaptable. Check out their full range at latitudeoutdoors.com.
And so yeah, that's kind of how we landed on it. And it's been the same group. We've added 1 or 2 people over the years that are just close to our friend group that have joined in. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Stay in a cabin down there, hang out. We were staying in a cabin.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like an Airbnb kind of type setup, which has been really great because we can just we always bring 3 or 4 vehicles. Everyone's gone all day. You don't see anybody else, and then come back together at night and see what's going on.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, and hills are their own, like the hill country is very, very different. Very different than the flat stuff that we see a lot here. So as you've kind of gone through the years, what have you figured out about hills? Like what's your move when you get there? Like what are you looking for?
2 things we made a mistake the first year I remember. First thing was we thought, oh man, they're going to be on this ag. That's all around. And man, were we wrong. If there's a good acorn harvest, they're nowhere near the ag. They don't even care about it. So we made that mistake coming from Michigan, where a cornfield is the place to be. It's position A here, not so much there. And then we saw all this sign, mostly down in the bottoms. Mm-hmm. And we were thinking, oh man, this is tore up. We've never seen scrapes like this or rubs like this. And it's all night sign. And we were hunting into the wrong place in the wrong times. And we didn't really understand pressure. Michigan is super pressured, but everyone's on a 40-acre parcel. You don't have a lot, you can't do a lot about it. And here we could go miles back if we wanted to. And so we stayed way too close to the easy access points and roads and things. We didn't even know things like hunt high in the morning, low in the evening. So we just didn't know any of the basics of hill hunting.
Sure.
So we learned a lot. I said thermals. I think even that has been one of the biggest things, understanding. In some ways, the hills is nice because you can cheat everything. You can always get
play
into
with thermals.
Play the thermals, play the winds, sneak in late, sneak in early. You've just got so many things. Like you can be in control in a way that here in Michigan you can't so much. So like that cat and mouse game and trying to understand it. I'd heard it on podcasts and things, but to go live it, it's like, oh, this is real. This is actually how it goes. So
I like it one of the things I like about it is, like you said, access is interesting because sometimes you have like a little creek that runs through the bottom, or, in the mornings you can just kind of cruise down there and then pop up. And I've done real well, over the years in the hill area that I hunt without getting too specific, but, um, that I've liked to use that to my advantage, just easy in and out, easy out. And I just am always surprised how like a deer on the other side of a hill has no, like how little they can hear if you are down low, just,
Mhm.
not even that far away.
Yeah. Yeah, if you just kind of J hook in at the end of your walk or something, and how much
Yeah.
different how effective it really is.
You just pop up, and I popped up on so many deer that had like no idea. And like, I love it. I love hunting, especially the hills mid morning in the rain. Like if it's raining a little bit, I'll still hunt with my bow. And dude, you see, I remember doing it one year just because I couldn't get out early that morning. And I'm like, all right, this is an area that I don't really know. Whatever, if I blow it up, who cares? It's raining, so I can be quiet. And I still hunted all morning, and you just see deer after deer after deer bedded down, walking around. You just walk a little bit glass, use the terrain kind of to your advantage. And like I said, it's crazy how, especially if it's raining, how close you can get to a deer without them having really any idea.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, we've experienced similar things. I don't know that we've ever had it be successful, but it's definitely turned us on to some new spots. If it
Yeah,
rains,
exactly.
a
At the
lot
very
of us,
least, it's scouting. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of us, if it's raining in the morning, we're sleeping in, catching up on some sleep,
Mhm.
and go out and do some scouting. Like
Yep.
get out there and don't scout without a bow. Like keep
Yeah,
it with,
exactly.
yeah.
Man, I shot one 2 years ago that way. Just went out late. Same kind of deal on hills and popped up, and I had a buck. It was the first day of November. Working a scrape, rubbing his face all in a tree. Had no idea that I was there. Just dropped to a knee, shot him at like 12 yards. So it's like, all right, I probably should bring my bow every time. Like growing up, Jared and I, we watched a lot of like Dan Fitzgerald. If
Mhm.
Not a lot of people on the podcast probably know of the Fitzgeralds, maybe they do, but like in the '90s, he was, you get his hunting videos. He knew about deer hunting, right? And his thing was, going out in the woods during deer season without a bow is like going out without your pants on. So Jared and I always, we've repeated that quote, 200 times over the last a couple of years, but so anyway, so hills, it's taken you a while, and you mentioned thermals being a big thing. Um, how and getting farther back, like, does that always mean like walking deep or different access types, or how are you getting away from pressure? Because you mentioned that was kind of a factor.
Yeah. I think it depends. I think maybe the biggest thing is the steeper country, regardless of how close it is to an access point, doesn't get hit as hard. It just like hands down, you get into a little steeper area and
Yeah,
you tend to get
those
away from
suck.
people a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are a couple places in the parcels we hunt where there's just no way to like start on top, or there's no easy creek bottom to follow in. You're going to have to do a side hill at some point, or you're going straight up, a point. Um, so I find those places tend to work out pretty well. And help get a little bit of pressure off. But really, we're doing our first couple of days whenever we're down there are fully focused on like scouting, and part of that is pressure scouting, and that's something we've learned too, I guess.
So you get there, you don't jump right into hunting. You cruise around, or what do you?
uh, yes, that's my preferred method. I'll tell this story because the guys will appreciate it when they hear it. This past year, I shot my buck. I shot a 8-point. In my first 5 minutes in the stand. I drove down in the morning, got there at noon, scouted for 4 hours, got in a tree, and shot one
There we
in about
go.
5 minutes. So my preferred method,
Scouting.
yes, is to scout. So actually, I was with one of the other guys, and I was like, "Let's just keep scouting." He's like, "No, I kind of want to sit. We've been in the car, we've been walking all day. Like, let's sit. I got to get in the tree." And he had seen some sign in one area. I'm like, "Okay, you do that. I'm gonna go the other side of the ridge. I'm just gonna go walk. I'm gonna scout." I really had no plan to sit, and I get into this bottom, and I'm like, man, this looks pretty good. If I go any further, I'm going to bump some bedding area. I should stop right now. It's getting kind of dark. So I just set my platform about I'm in a saddle. So I just set my platform about 4 feet off the ground. I put my gear strap in, hung my bow, did everything from the ground, climbed up, I told him I would walk him because we were in walkie-talkie distance, and I'm like, hey, turn it on, and I hear something, and I'm like, no way. I'm like, this gotta be a squirrel. So I'm still like messing with my pack. I look over, I see a tail flicker. I'm like, no way. So I grab my bow, turn around, and I'm standing in my back to the tree, the bridge across me, standing there, and it's coming down a creek bottom. I can't see it. I'm like, when it pops out, it's gonna be at 20 yards. I have no idea where it is. I'm like, I gotta draw though, in case it's a buck.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah,
So
right.
I draw, and yeah, it's a shooter 8-point. It's like 115-inch 8-point. For me, I'm like, if I shoot the last day, I'm shooting first. So
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I fling an arrow, and it hits every single sapling between me and that deer. I mean, it bounces off 5 different saplings, just all over the place, and it hits the ground. And he takes 3 hops and stops and looks back at the lighted knot, and he just keeps looking at the lighted knot. And luckily he's looking away from me because it's in the side of the hill behind him.
Right.
And so I'm like fumbling with my quivers behind me, and I get an arrow out and get it knocked back on. I hook back up, and I'm like, I'm gonna get another shot. There's no way. I mean, and so he
Can't believe it.
he flicks his tail, puts it down, and goes to start walking. And I draw, and second one drilled him. I watched it go straight through. And so then I picked the walkie-talkie up. And I'm like, hey, are you there? And he's like, yeah, I'm there. I'm like, I just shot one. He's like, no, you didn't. Stop swinging. I'm like, I swear I shot one. And yeah, we walked from the arrow full of blood, and we found him right away. He went 60, 70 yards up a hill and fell back down in the creek bottom. Yeah, so my preferred method is go there, scout for a couple of days, and see what's
Don't
going on.
hunt at all? Like, so you scout middle of the day? Do you sit evenings when you're doing that, or?
Usually I'll still hunt through the first couple of days, but usually we're sitting at least a couple times those first few days, just because you can't not. You get so excited about a spot, or you just got to sit. So, but usually shorter sits, like a couple hours in the morning or the evening, and then back off to scouting again. And then towards the end of the week, doing all day or half day sits out there, trying to really get on something that you think is hot. But yeah, so that's been something we've learned though, is just go scout pressure, look at where people are at, understand license plates and who's from where. The guys who are coming from Pennsylvania, they probably know something about hills and big woods that we maybe don't.
Yeah.
And people who are locals, understanding where they're at and what they're doing. So we learned a lot through just keeping our eyes out for what are other people doing. Yeah,
that's huge. I mean, we do that a lot. It's like, who's there? I do a lot of people scouting, more and more. But that being said, even like the idea of walking around the woods during deer season growing up was totally foreign to me. I was told like that was like hallowed ground. Like, you don't go into the woods unless you're going to hunt, and then you get out, and it's like, the more I hunt, especially on public land, it's like I walk around a lot. It's a lot of walking around. Otherwise, I feel like things change so much on public land from one year to the next or 1 week to the next, that it's like, if you're not kind of up to date on what's been going on in the woods, like it's more luck than anything else if you get one that way.
Yep. Yeah. No, you said something that made me think. We made the mistake the first few years of thinking where we were at the year before was going to be hot.
Right.
Like, you think day one when you shot a nice buck last year, yeah, let's go back to that area. Sometimes that's true, that area holds deer for some reason. It's got the right bedding, or it's got the right setup for them. But that hasn't. We've shot all the deer we've shot out there in some similar areas, but not two on the same ridge line even once. So everything's been in a new spot, different place. So yeah, you got to be where they are. It's just changing so fast. So.
When are you going this year? What time of the year is your trip?
Yeah, this year we're a little later. We're going November 1 to the 9th, I think. So we'll be down there the first week of November.
It's a good time.
Stay home for Halloween with the kids, and then we're out of here.
Yeah, no, I did the same. Very, very similar type schedule. It's Halloween for the kids, and actually a cross country thing. But then I love the first week of October. First 2 weeks, right up until the 15th, are like my favorite times.
Yeah. I mean, everything's heating up, and no one's got guns out there shooting around, and everything's still fresh. Yeah.
Right. Well, and I always get to, like, a lot of times I have too high of I think, a lot of the pre-rut stuff you see, like, you go out expecting rut activity like Halloween, and it's usually only smaller bucks, at least for where I'm at. So it's like, I always get excited for the Halloween hunt, but like, really the best crazy stuff happens like 2 weeks later, a week and a half later.
Yep.
At least where I spend a lot of time.
Yep. Yeah, I think we've experienced the same. We've seen some chasing a couple of years, just like starting, or if it's really cold one morning, like, oh, they were chasing the
Yeah, exactly.
just starting kind of. But I felt like that pre-rut time frame down there has been the easiest to hunt. Because you can understand what's going on. Like scrape lines are getting hit. They're getting fresh. If it just got hit, he's in the area. If it hasn't, that was 3 weeks ago. He's gone. He's moved on.
Exactly.
So I like that you can read like they're laying down a lot of sign. So
exactly. It's like it was easy to zero in on them. You know, or man, I love like it rained. You know, it's like if it rained the 30th, the 31st morning, the evening of the 31st it rained, 30th it rained, 31st morning you just find the biggest scrape or whatever you can, and like you will see so many deer coming back, freshening everything up again.
Yep. Yeah.
I get ran that. We just had that 2 days ago. All my cameras like lit up over scrapes because it rained, and the next day all of a sudden it's like boom, boom, boom. You know, all these bucks. We'll just say. And other deer came out, and it was very good to see, very encouraging for the fall.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, I'm getting excited. Are all your bucks that you're seeing still in velvet right now?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You?
Yeah, they're all still. Yeah,
we got a few weeks. Yeah,
I think we've got a little while. Yeah, I'm actually excited. My son, this is gonna be his first year going out. He's 4.
Nice.
He's young, but he's got his crossbow and he's pretty accurate, and he can do it by himself, and he's dead set on going for the youth season here. And so we're going to go out in a few weeks. We just put blinds up last weekend. And so, yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm watching the cameras more. He's watching the cameras every morning. He's like, is there any deer on the cameras? Man, it's exciting.
Well, and what I mean, that early season is beautiful. It's a sweet time of year to hunt because they are so much more patternable. They're still a lot of times they're in the beans still, and all these things. It's like it's easy to hunt, but like it's funny because I've got a daughter. She's 13 now, but when I first took her out, we go out to public land and we practice with the crossbow, and I'm like, oh, she's ready, and we go out. We have this 8-point comes in, and I'm like, holy! We're sitting on the ground, right on public land on the ground, with like a basically a fabric blind and just brush, and we're just sitting up in it, and I'm like, holy cow, I cannot believe this is going to work. Like it's 20 yards away and it's right there. But what I hadn't accounted for was the fact that she could not, without a rest, lift up the crossbow. Like she couldn't maneuver it very well. She eventually could, but all the movement it took for her to like, get it, move from one spot to on the deer, like it wasn't going to happen. And so it was like, I should have brought the tripod out.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad. It sounds like we made the right move because last weekend we put the blind up and he got in it. We put the bog stand up. We made sure he could see over the window. We found out he's going to need to stand on something. So I'm going to make a little box or something to stand on. Just like test running it, put the target out there right where the deer should come through. Like, hey, they're going to be in the food plot right there. So you've seen it here now. So hopefully he'll be pretty set up.
Well, now they can't shoot bucks this year, right?
No, they changed that. Yeah, does only.
Yeah. People were real upset about that. I heard a lot of people upset about it. But
yeah, I don't think it's a bad move. You have so many parents abusing it and going out there and
eating. You get 3 shots off with a 300 Win Mag with their 3-year-old. I don't know that kid was shooting that gun that many times.
Yes. Yeah, no, he'll be excited about anything. He's as long as it's not a fawn, he says he's happy with it. So we'll see if we can get it done.
Yeah, no, it's I'm excited. We got the early doe season coming up. We got youth season, doe season, and then the big dance. So a lot of good hunting to come.
Yeah, it's all right in our sights now. It's not too far, a month or so, and we're gonna be right in it.
Oh man. Well, hey, I know you've got a lot going on, but I appreciate you coming on to hang out. Talk a little deer hunting. I have not. I've hunted in Kentucky and West Virginia, but never in Ohio. And I wanted to get out there. A lot of hills, but a lot of good bucks, like you said. So good luck this year. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, you as well. Yeah, I hope you get on some. It sounds like you got some good plans going.
Always, it's all plans at this point. Who knows what it looks like or what it's gonna be. But yeah.
Yep. No, I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's been good talking to you, good getting to know you guys. And yeah, hopefully everyone who's listening can get out there and get on some too. And if our tools can help anybody, then we're happy to do that too.
Before you go, where can people check out? Where can they follow what you guys are doing?
Yeah, the easiest place is Tekton.com directly, Tekton.com. We do have social medias too. So Instagram, Facebook, we're posting product releases and things on there as well. So we're pretty active. If people have questions or anything, we get back to them right away. So that's the easiest way to find us. So yeah, if people are gearing up and they need some hex keys or things like that to get the bows tuned back in, and you got those. And if you're going on trips, we've got socket sets and things. And yeah, that's the easiest way though.
Wonderful. Well, hey, man, thanks again. Everybody go check it out, and we'll see you again next week.